Right.
Why talking about sex?
It's haram.
Haram in Islam.
Hey, brother.
To have sex with any woman. Marriage is halal.
So
marriage. No, let me speak. Let me speak. Let me speak. Thank you very much.
Let him speak. Let him speak.
This Christian guy, wallahi, even I disagree with him, but you are like about him. Okay, what he's doing is exactly what the Islam haters do. The lack of what's his name? Tommy Robinson. The question is asking doesn't make any sense to me. Why? Because he's coming from an angle to say if you believe it's wrong to have sex with the age of 9, then your prophet did it. But Prophet Muhammad there's a difference between having sex and marriage. When you have marriage, is to a man and a woman, both parents, society, and the supervision of society, and it will occur. So my question to you, yeah, that's how marriage is. Do you know what marriage? No. Wait. Do you differentiate between marriage and sex? No. Do you differentiate between what is marriage? Define marriage. No, define marriage. I'm running. I'm scared of you because you're not here to see the truth. Many times I told you. No. Let me speak. Let me speak. Godwin. Let me speak. Let me speak.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one more.
No, let me speak.
One more minute.
Yo, let him speak. Come on, yo. Bro, let him speak. Bro, let him speak. Bro, let me speak. Yo, come on, man.
We're talking. The man that he believes that it's okay to kill babies and children. Does the same guy tell me okay? Is it okay? Show me the Quran. Show me.
I see your Quran.
Let me get the Bible. Let me get the Bible.
18 verse 18.
Hold this.
Change the topic now.
Would you condemn the verse? No. Do you condemn the passage? Do you condemn the passage? Do you condemn the passage?
It's the same as the blood.
No, because what? They're not here to listen. They're not here to listen. I'm going to speak on marriage. Please don't let me speak. He's not answered already.
And so,
when you go answer to the people here.
In his heart.
No.
He knows it's immoral.
Watch this.
He knows it's despicable.
Watch.
He knows it's ugly. And he knows he wouldn't do it himself.
That's what you
The problem is, Muhammad did it.
I said it's not.
He's wrestling in his mind is, how do I answer this?
Let him finish.
How do I respond to this? Because I realized that I know I wouldn't do it myself, but my prophet, who's meant to be my role model, did it.
Did what?
So you're in a dilemma.
He got married.
You're in a dilemma.
He got married.
He had sex with a child.
Is that wrong?
Would
Is
you
that
have
wrong?
sex with a
Is that
child?
wrong?
Would you have sex
Is
with
that
a
wrong?
child?
No
It's
child.
immoral.
She's no child.
It's evil.
She's no
And
child.
it's wicked.
Wasting your time,
And
man.
it's demonic.
Look.
Yes, it is.
First of
It's demonic.
all, it's a lie against Prophet Muhammad. Because
You didn't have sex with
let me
a
speak.
liar.
Can I speak? Wallahi, Godwin, if you ever come ask me, have you not let me speak?
Go on.
Okay. First of all, let us go to the biologist. What differentiate between a child and adult? These guys never study. They're always in the Bible. If they come out of the Bible, they'll have a heart attack. Of course, the biologist and check it. That what differentiate between a child and an adult is the age of puberty. And Aisha said, when a girl reaches the age of 9 in the Arab Peninsula, she's a woman. So your question is wrong to begin with. She was no child. She was no child.
Where am I asking you this? I want you to define.
Here the book.
I want you, not this book. Where is this from? Does it say you're
Aisha here. Okay. Wait. So now, let us define. That's why.
So had Aisha reached Shamsi's going to show us where Aisha reached puberty.
I'm going to show you where Aisha said when a girl reaches the age of 9, she's a woman. That's what I said. Watch this. When I say, would you accept it, by the way? Yeah, but for the viewers, for the people. Right, no, let's say Bukhari, it's liar.
You don't use Bukhari? You don't use Bukhari no more?
Who said I never use Bukhari?
Okay, then we're going to show you.
No, because you said she will got married. Remember 9? Okay. Aisha said, no, it's in the book. It's in the book. It's in here. It's in here.
So is this Islam? We're talking about Islam, right?
No, we're talking about Satanism.
Why are you laughing?
It's funny. It's funny. That's why. It's funny. You're funny. That's why. It's funny. That's why.
You ask stupid questions.
Okay,
Stupid question.
why? It's a
Having sex with a man with a child is stupid. Oh, yeah.
You are biased,
In denial. That's the problem.
and you're not, yeah?
No,
You're not biased.
I'm not biased.
Of course.
So here Imam Shafi'i, okay, let us see, look, puberty and adulthood in the Arab Peninsula, yes? Aisha, marriage of Aisha, you know, if we will succeed, right, we will have a nice discussion. But he will never let me finish. You will get that. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. Aisha said, when a girl reaches 9 years, then she's a woman.
Where are you reading it from?
I'm reading from a newspaper. Well, come on, man. What's this all about?
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't need to make a show. Can I respond to that? Yes.
Sunan al-Bayhaqi.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I respond to that?
No, I haven't finished.
Let him read, man.
Let me read and let me speak.
Wait around, because I want to respond to
I'm
that.
not gonna. Godwin, you approach me, correct?
Don't run.
I ask you that. Godwin, you approach me, correct? So Godwin, when you approach me, you said you have a question, correct? So you want clarification, correct?
Right, so
now let me speak. Finish. Step by step. Please, thank you very much. Please. So why? A bit patience, bro. Subhanallah. It's waste of time. Now, brothers, if someone comes to me and wants clarification, logic dictates you should give me time to clarify, correct? Of course. You're not giving me time. Okay. So therefore, you're not coming to ask question. You have agenda. You see what I'm saying?
Shamsi, deal with this. Don't run. Don't divert.
I'm not running.
Let's do
So
it.
Aisha said, when a girl reaches the age of 9, is a woman. And now his question, which he came to me, would you marry a girl? She's a child, but 9 is not a child.
Would you marry a 9-year-old child?
Yeah, child. Yeah, it's not a child. Because why? What difference between a child?
Would you have sex with
Yes, this is not the way to ask question.
Okay. So,
No, what I mean.
can I finish?
I haven't finished. But because you have agenda, you come with a question. Would you have a sex?
Just
I'm speaking on the issue.
Stop talking about
I'm not diverting.
deal with that.
Brothers, I'm leaving. Wallahi.
Shamsi, don't run, Shamsi. Shamsi, where are you going?
I don't mind speaking. I don't mind speaking to any Christian or non-Muslim about it. Those two guys, they're not listening. Where is the other English guy who's behind me? He's gone. I have no problem to speak about it. These two guys, actually, they're not here to see the truth.
Is it okay to kill your mother with a thief?
Look, the crackhead.
So anyway, brothers, I want to speak about this issue because these liars, what they do, I know them. They record. He said, would you have a sex? Look at the question. Would you have a sex with a girl? But my question to you, he never let me speak. He was cut me. That's why, if anyone from now and they tell me speak to Godwin, I'm gonna get rude to the brothers. Godwin and this guy, they will never listen. Wallahi, ikhwa. Imagine you coming to ask me a question, you not letting me to clarify. He said to me, would you have sex with a girl? I said, yes. About marriage, yes. If I was that time and it's different society, that's a different thing. You understand? Because we can read here, according to the country that we're living in, Britain, who they look up to the ancestors. This country was built by people who believed that it was okay for the marriage to occur at the age of 5 and 7. So English people would say, I'm proud of this country. You should not be proud of according to you, it's pedophilia. We don't believe that because we believe back in those days, as been mentioned by the experts. That's why I want to quote non-Muslim experts, biologists, sociologists, because any logical person, if I want to speak about biology, I go back to biologists. I want to speak about physics, you go back to physicists. You don't go back to Godwin clown. You understand? So when you go to the biologists and historians and sociologists, they will tell you, look to this. Look, they don't even know who's Margaret. Margaret is one of the American historians, okay? Margaret Wade Labber, right. It must be remembered that many medieval widows and not all important heiresses were often married between the age of 5 and 10, might find themselves widow while still in their teens. No, this is of course, a Christian country here. And let's ask Richard II of England, who was the king of England between the year 1377 and 1399. And as a widower, he took Isabella of Valois as his second wife at the age of 6. The age of 6. We have to understand, back in those days, it was completely different time. The girls used to reach the age puberty quicker, used to become mature quicker, because there was not these adults, underage, all of these stages. Either you're a child or a woman. You're a child or a man. That's how it was. And when a girl reaches puberty, she'll be hanging around with a big woman. So big woman will start passing on to them their culture, the wisdom, their behavior, so they become way mature quicker. Okay, another one. King John died in the year 1216. Also a king of England. Married Isabella of Angoulême in 1200 when she was 12 years old. And he was 34 at that time. And there's many examples here of the kings. So I'm saying, when you understand, because there's a difference between marriage and just having a sex. Well, that's when I say marriage, when the parents of the woman, the parents, the other side comes together, under the supervision of the state.
The society accepts
Yes, society accepted it. You understand? That's why if you check what the difference between a child and an adult is the age of puberty. But in Islam that is not enough, because as Imam Shafi'i, one of the scholars mentioned, sometimes maybe the girl reaches the age of puberty, but maybe mentally and physically or spiritually she's not ready to have intercourse and to get married. Understand? So these guys, I mentioned Aisha said at the age of 9 she's a woman. So those guys, they will never listen. He's not letting me to clarify. But as I say, let us turn the table. The question I ask him, where does it say in the Bible if the girl reaches the age of puberty, she's not allowed to get married? Did he answer it? No. Because it doesn't say that. What he says in the Bible, when a girl reaches the age of puberty, she's allowed to get married. So therefore, when Aisha got married Prophet Muhammad, according to the Bible, there's nothing wrong with it. However, these Christians, they become what? Secularist. They become what? Influenced by the British law of our time. Not back in those days. As we have mentioned, many British kings got married with a girl they were very young at age. And there was nothing wrong with it. Rather, in English history, they teach them as what? As a heroes. As a good people. Understand? Because you differentiate between what occurred in the past and what is occurring now. Not even our time, my brothers. There's difference between what is a culture in Britain and the culture in Argentina. Argentina, they get married at the age of 12. According to British law, that is pedophilia. But, hold a minute, not the whole world is British, mate. Understand? Who are you to go dictate to people that you have to follow my way? No, because there's different culture, different environments, different socio-economic, and so on. So anyone who is sincere, I have no problem to sit down with him and talk about this issue. I'm not shy of it.
He's speaking about it now. Go speak to him.
He's wasting time. I spoke to him many times.
They're not sincere.
He's not let me speak, I think.
No, what? Hold on, another one.
Which guy are you speaking about?
Ken, come here.
As I said, from bed to west. Anyway, so my brothers, don't be shy about Prophet Muhammad got married to Aisha. Naam. Why? I challenge these people, even the atheists. How come for 1,300 years no one said nothing about it? The first person that spoke against Prophet Muhammad's marriage to Aisha, he was an Orientalist, British, who lived in Egypt when the British invaded Egypt. He's the first person who spoke about it. Why? Because that's when the British people or British government and the European government start changing the age of consent. Before, because they used to do it. Understand? So our question I ask, if the girl mentally, physically, spiritually ready to get married, what's the problem with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Understand? But now what's happening? These Christians, they become atheists. Wallahi, they're going to become atheists soon. They are using the British culture of our time, not of the past, as a criteria what Prophet Muhammad did. That's why the question I was going to ask him, what is the criteria we are utilizing to determine if Prophet Muhammad did was right or wrong? If the Bible, bro, the Bible should be the last thing to use. But I'm telling you why. Because according to the Bible, God told Moses, kill every woman that slept with a man and keep the young girls for yourself. So how dare you speak about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? That's why God, dog will, and hyena, and Bob the liar, they will never speak to you about the Bible. They always Islam. I have no problem to Islam. Islam is the best religion. Alhamdulillah, every angle. Islam is the criteria for everything. But these guys, they get me frustrated. Every time I want to speak, he's cutting me. That's why I ignored them. So my point is, I was gonna speak to him, but when I noticed he's not listening, he's not letting me speak. He's just getting me frustrated. And the best thing to walk off. to walk off from who? From the dogs. I let them bark because the barking of the dogs will not harm the clouds. That's what you have to understand. And you know, if anyone wants to correct me, as I mentioned many times, I'm not perfect. But this book is a very nice book, ikhwa, for everyone to read. Even he mentions here a good point, that he mentions here a refutation, but he mentions he said there is no obligation, wujub, obligation to get married before the age of 16 in Islamic law in each nation. Because the question was asking me, Shamsi, would you marry? He's asking my personal opinion. My personal opinion is no criteria for your marriage of age or him. Like me, I don't like to get married to a young woman or a big woman. Doesn't mean it's not good anymore. That's why I said to him, are you asking my personal question, my personal opinion? If this is the case, then I have my own preference, barakallahu fiqh. But my own preference is not criteria for anyone else's preference. But who is speaking to? To a man that believes 1 + 1 + 1 is equal 1. That's who you're speaking to. Remember, we are speaking to, that's why Christians, they will never speak about foundation. How on earth you believe 1 + 1 + 1 is equal 1? I want to know which schools they've been to. Because we have to inform the government to shut them down. We have been very bad students. Wallahi, it's not joke anymore, brothers. Wallahi, you have to Ofsted instead of pushing this gay agenda to stop you teaching people 1 + 1 + 1 equal 1. Remember who he's speaking to. So, ikhwa, as I've mentioned, wallahi, that's why I stood up and I said, I speak to you. But when I noticed for 10 minutes, he's not letting me even finish my point, I walk off. Let him say, I'm scared. You know, if you walk off from the dogs, because if they say, if you threw a stone at every dog that barks at you, then a stone will be more expensive than gold. Wallahi. Some people let them bark. As I say, the barking of the dogs will not harm the clouds. بارك الله فيكم جزاكم الله خير.